There's this concept I've been working on when it comes to customer service. Now, on this part of the planet or on this part of the world, a lot of people sometimes complain about customer service and how we engage in customer service and how we need to improve customer service. But sometimes you need to think about certain things as catch up. Let's not just think about how do we improve customer service to become comparable to the rest of the world. Why about we just take it to the next step or to the next level? And that's where we talk about, or I like to talk about customer service 3.0 or customer service 4G, if you want to call it that. And this is what I like to describe as the next evolution or the next step in customer service. And it finally ties into branding, as a matter of fact. But how do you ensure that your customer service is so good that your customers become your brand ambassadors and the other ones doing your selling for you? And that's what the whole magic concept is about. So magic is actually monumental, assertive, guaranteed, but innovative customer service. Now, what are some of the elements in creating not only a memorable impression, but a monumental impression? The type of impression that would make a customer say, you know what, I choose to use you and you alone. And not only do I choose to use you, I'm going to tell my children about you, and my children are more than likely going to tell their children about you. Now, the way the people who engage with customers express themselves, how unique your product and your customer people and your officers are, the way you communicate, the way you connect with your customers, your story. Remember, I've always talked about the why. The why. Sometimes people identify with companies or structures because of the why. When they identify with your why, they feel aligned with you and they feel like, you know what, generations to come, they still want to follow you. They still want to be behind you. If you value the thinking of the customer, so you get to understand where the customer is coming from, and you value their way of thinking, you value what they want, they value you as well. So these are different methods of creating a monumental, not only a memorable, but a monumental impression on your customer. And remember, we're talking about effective listening. When you apply those effective listening skills here too, they make a difference in connecting the dots. Now, when we say assertive, how do you empower your customer so that the customer service is not just something that they ask for, reactive, but rather something that you perceive or preempt before they even ask for? That's being proactive. And to do that, you need to empower your customer with tools, the right tools that allow them to tell you what they want. Sometimes customers are actually telling us all the time what they want, but sometimes we're just not listening. And I'm talking about going past regular CRM tools like knowing your customer's name and knowing what he wants and knowing his habits and that type of data. I'm talking about analyzing your customer's data well enough to understand exactly what it is that he's telling you he wants from your service, and ensuring that they're getting it before they even ask. So that all that they can think of is they cannot see a product other than yours. In branding, they call that brand insistence. It's yours or the highway. If your product is not available, there's nothing else. No other competitors. So what do we mean by the G? What do we mean by guaranteeing the experience? We're talking about consistency. A customer shouldn't have to come for service and be served by person A, and the next time they come, they're served by person B, and it's a different experience. A customer doesn't need to hear that this is what we offer, yet they meet somebody else from your office and they have no clue. A customer shouldn't have to go to different silos or different parts or different departments and get a different experience or different feel. Not unless, of course, that's the intended product or the intended experience that you want to put out. And that means consistently training your staff around the clock and ensuring that it's consistent. Your vision, the vision of the organization or the company or the institution is shared from the top to the bottom. And that vision is consistently reviewed, you engage, you're consistent round and round and round. That's how you guarantee that from the top to the bottom, everything is the same. When we talk about innovation, I mean, the world is changing every single day. Customers, their tastes, their requirements, what they are used to is changing consistently from market to market. And so if you want to stay alive, if you want to stay abreast, if you want to stay relevant, you also want to make sure that you're consistently innovative, you're using the tools out there, you're being just as current, you're being different in the way you think to stay abreast with competitors and with what's going on out there. And that's why the innovation is important. So Magic is about taking the customer experience to that next level where the customer feels that you're right there with them for the long haul, so that they don't see anything but you. And that's what Magic is about. And I hope that all of you can understand and wrap your minds around it, because that's the future of customer service. Stay empowered.